Class, welcome. My name is Andrew DeColey, and what we'll be talking about today is steroids in sports. Steroids in sports, juicing up the facts. The purpose is to further explain the link between steroids and pro athletes. We've all heard newsline stories of many things of people being accused or proven guilty of taking steroids. Let's talk about some athletes that have been in the face of this talk. Barry Bonds, who is a 7-time MVP, 14-time All-Star. Stole bases, hit home runs, he could do it all. But once he goes bald and grows a big head, steroids, he's never been proven guilty yet, but he's still trying to fight his innocence. Ben Johnson, the Canadian sprinter of the Olympics. He has been taking away his gold medal and his record that he won in the Summer Olympics due to 2 days later he got tested for steroid use. And Floyd Landis, not as good as Lance Armstrong, but he won a Tour de France, but was proven of performance enhancers 3 days after. According to Rebecca Shore, this dates back to the late 1800s. In 1886, a Welsh cycler, Arthur Linton, died from a stimulant called Tronithol, which is a stimulant, I guess, in 1886. In 1889, French doctor Charles Edward Brown Sicard, say that 5 times fast, injects testicular fluids of dogs and guinea pigs into himself, and notes that he had a lot more energy and a lot more aggression in everything he did. Through 1945, according to the anecdotal accounts, the Nazis tested Nazis with steroids, and most, if not all of them, took them. They did this to build aggression and strength so they could beat their opponents. And a fun fact is, experts say Hitler was an avid user of steroids. If you watch his speeches, his aggression, his suicidal thoughts during the end of his life, they firmly believe that he was an avid steroid user himself. In 1954, a Russian powerlifting doctor reveals that their powerlifting team has been injecting the testosterone to the U.S. powerlifting team. Now, there are some sports where they may be illegal now, but back then they were just something everyone used, like a protein shake. Here's a video of Mr. Terminator himself discussing that facts in the sport of bodybuilding.
One of the most common questions I also get is, did you take steroids? Because now, of course, drugs is such a big issue in sports. And the answer is yes. It was just in the beginning stage, because bodybuilders in those days just experimented with it, but it was not illegal. It was like we talked about it very openly. I mean, anyone that was asked, do you take steroids? Yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day, or someone else would say, I would take this, and that. It was not an illegal thing. Now, after it became a big problem, then our federation said, okay, bodybuilders ought not to take steroids, and there will be testing done, surprise testing done. You could be called at any given time, and within 2 days you have to do a test, so you can't get rid of the whole thing out of your system or anything like that. So that's what's going on right now. The bodybuilders are tested continuously.
And that's how they're done. But, so as you can see, back in the day, steroids in bodybuilding were just your protein shake or a juice bar or whatever. It was just something everyone talked about and discussed, but now it is illegal. Also, in strongman competitions, although it's not tested, there's a drug called AAS. It's called anabolic androgenic steroids. It's said that they're used in both amateur and professional meets, but yet it is not tested. There's some events that have really sparked the steroid talk. First of all, they talk about Lyle Alzado. He's an Oakland Raiders defensive lineman who was diagnosed with brain cancer, and he blamed it on his steroid use. He used it all of his career and states that 90% of the players he played with used steroids. And he also blamed his cancer on steroids. Then there's the Balco investigation. This is when in the San Francisco area, there were labs giving professional athletes roids. Marion Jones is one who admitted to taking it. Barry Bonds was one of the people on the list, yet he always denied it. Now, let's talk into the sports in today's world. Tom Gatto said in an article that former MVP Ryan Braun was listed in a list by Anthony Bosch, a former biogenesis, of people that owed him money for warming-enhancing drugs. On this list were other athletes such as Alex Rodriguez and Melky Cabrera, other MLB players. They have all they formulated the use of steroids. Most people in the baseball fan world have heard of A-Rod and his use with the Rangers. But this is a big problem due to today, since Ryan Braun was the MVP, and he's a very fantastic player, but now his career is really demolished by this, or so experts say. So today, whether we like it or not, steroids are a big part of our professional athletic world. The facts are here. There are so many instances in the past and present that have shown that how steroids link to athletics, and they still do today. Thank you, class.